Welcome to the Over the Line Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Alex, Papa, Jinx, and Boonguy. And sometimes B-Man.
I am the man!
And Tall Tom.
I think B-Man needs to go full on, like, Macho Man.
Alright, so we have a lot of people sometimes. Let's just get started.
Over the Line is brought to you exclusively by Melinda Road Studio. For all of your audio editing needs, contact melindaroad.com. MALINDA.com.
It's the OTL podcast. It is Saturday, August 29th.
2 more hours.
2020. I am here with Muckernaut. And he's the only one here.
That's it.
Because
Just
he's
us
the
two.
only one committed.
Vested.
So,
I'm
vested.
I'm
So
vested.
he's the only one vested. So anybody else that wants to be vested, they just show up to the next podcast, OTL podcast. Get your ass here. We got 9-year-olds telling us we need to go make money on our podcast. We got other motherfuckers. Disclaimer.
We say weird stuff.
We got other motherfuckers telling us we're helping them win them championships. You need to listen to the OTL podcast. There's my podcast roll.
We help you win.
We help you win. He helped us win. Bukowski. Bukowski can vouch for us. Bukowski got vouch for us, buddy. We helped him win the championship. I mean, my other cousin, Phil, he listens. He does pretty good in fantasy football, too. He's a good guy. So, all right, let's do beer preview.
And I don't jinx you anymore. My picks are actually pretty good.
Yeah, Muckin knows what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, I get to do beer preview this week because
do.
I picked I do have to go out on a limb here, my very favorite beer.
Really?
This is my very favorite beer.
Really?
It is here.
Now
this is
I'm really
Toppling
excited.
Goliath. This is the King Sue. I had it last July, I believe, was the first time I had it, and I have not had anything better.
Ooh, it smells juicy.
The only thing that has ever really compared to it was 6 Point had a hazy IPA that I had on tap, and that was fucking delicious.
Really?
Yeah. But, I mean, you guys already know my opinion. I don't even care because it's just so good. And I want to promote Toppling Goliath because they're, like, taking over the world. They're out of Iowa.
I was just about to say, where are they from?
Yeah, they're out of Iowa. They anything I've actually ever had from them has been delightful. They focus on IPAs.
Hazy style?
Hazy style. They have a lot in this series of the Sioux. They have a Sadu Sioux. They have a Mosaic Sioux. They have a lot on this series, and they're all very good. So
they're all just different styles of hops in the same...
In this line, yes.
In
And
the
then
same
they
group.
have...
Okay.
Yeah, then they have other styles of IPA. I think I've had a Pilsner from them, maybe. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But cheers.
Do all their cans have different dinosaurs on them?
On the Sioux, yes.
Because I'm loving the T-Rex. Love the T-Rex.
I'm all like shaky mucking. You see me?
I know.
I'm all shaky.
You're
Yeah.
all excited from the
Yeah,
beginning,
from the first roll.
Yeah.
And I do have something I do want to bring up. It's not going to take me long, but last week we did bring it up on our episode. I did have a little short spurt where NBA last week, a couple weeks ago, NBA, MLB, and I went BLM, Black Lives Matter, kind of as a statement, as something lighthearted at the time, but with recent events this past week, I think it's just since we have a platform, I would like to just kind of say my piece on the matter. Being a black man in America, this isn't a political stance. This isn't a movement. This isn't something that you get to ignore, or at least I get to ignore, and really choose to decide whether you're going to deal with the issue or not. Not everybody in this country has that option, and I think that's what a lot of people need to understand. Nobody's saying that anybody's lives matter more than anybody else's. I think that's another thing people need to understand. It's about getting to a point of equality that we're obviously not in right now. The recent events of the Jacob Blake shooting happened in Wisconsin state. I consider part of my home. My grandfather was born there. My mother was born there. And it really is, it's emotional. It really just, it sucks, and it's something I've dealt with my whole life. It's something that's always on my mind when something seems off. It's the first thing, and that's just the way it is, and that's the way I've always felt, and that's something I've, have to deal with, but it's time to not deal with that anymore, It's time for everybody to really just understand and realize and listen. And that's really all the time I want to take on the matter. I think it's just important for anybody with a voice to use that voice, and for basically just everybody else to listen.
Yeah. Listening is the biggest part. I think you got to listen, you got to learn, you got to educate yourself. And like with you, the one thing you brought up is what I think it's huge. And you said it's not a political issue. It shouldn't be a political issue. It should be a human issue. Mm-hmm. It should be an issue of just wanting respect and equality for everybody.
So that's how the OTL podcast feels. Black Lives Matter. Burn, burn, burn. And yeah, we don't really get too deep that often, but I think that was important.
Yeah.
And
especially in light of recent.
Yes, exactly. And other big events that happened recently. We had our draft.
It was so much fun.
The
first draft was fun.
All right, Muckin. I have on the agenda here draft recap, all caps. Muckin draft recap.
All right then. So as most of you guys know, this was my first time I was brought in last year to go into the minors, the over the line league, and then this year I was brought into the majors. So before the draft, we had our owners meeting where I got to pick my 6 players, which I was pretty happy with. I was actually pretty happy with the 6 players that I got. Then last week, Draft Fest, get to finish everything, get to get all my players, see how my team really looks. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy in the majors. Yeah, right. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with how I ended up going.
Okay.
I actually traded my first round pick to
the 1.6
50-50 Pip.
Yep.
And I got Todd Gurley.
All right. Yeah.
Little bit. I'm not gonna say it was a little bit of a reach. It's a little bit of a risky move with his arthritis in his knee.
But it's like a 7th round pick.
It's a 7th round pick. I'm getting Todd Gurley, who could potentially be a top 10 running back this year, for a 7th round pick.
Right. And
so,
we've talked about how much we love that Falcons offense this year.
Exactly.
So
I'm big on Gurley.
I really loved that trade because what 50-50 Boom Guy Ghost Asterix did was he went and he saw where other players were drafting. He got a feel of the room. That's kind of what I did for the first couple hours pre-draft. He's trying to make some trades. We were in the war room trying to make some trades.
There was a lot of people
trying
to make
we were.
trades.
It was good.
It was intense.
I have a very flashy style, as you could assume. Like I like to just do it right in front of everybody. I like to just show everybody this is what I'm doing, and you guys can deal with it. Yeah, here it is. But then I like that because then it kind of gauges everybody else out. Because then I'm like, all right, but some people don't like the flashy style, and you kind of just treat that situation differently. But yeah, I love the war room. I love feeling it out. And so what Boom Guy was able to do, he felt out the room, and then he was able to take the player that he wanted, which was Henry Ruggs, before he knew anybody else was. I mean, Henry Ruggs was going to go between Angry Tom. Angry Tom said he was his favorite. B-Man, I traded my my 1.8 and 1.10 to B-Man for his 1.3 and his 2.5. And he wanted to go receiver. So, Boom Guy realized that, in order to get the guy he wanted, he moved up. Muckin realized that at the 6th spot there, Muckin did a lot in the same. He was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rookie running backs. Do I want Ronald Jones? Do I want Kerryon Johnson? Do I want Keyshawn Vaughn? No, I want Todd Gurley.
I wanted a running back. I wanted either one of the rookie running backs, or I wanted to put myself in the position where I could get a running back
1, or at least a running back 2A, and then you have Ingram and you have Michelle, who just came off the PUP, to complement that. And I think I really like where everybody's head was going into this draft. I think it was a good draft.
So a little behind the scenes.
Wait, we gotta continue on to. Do you behind the scenes, and then we'll continue on to draft day. Draft days.
Draft days. A little bit. Days.
Yeah, it took longer than we thought.
So a little bit behind the scenes about that Gurley trade. Pip actually texted me a week earlier.
Yeah.
Saying, you want Gurley for that number 1 pick?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, man, I'm going to hold on to my number 1 pick. Then I actually looked into the players, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should have taken it.
All right.
I wonder if he's still... And then I kind of like felt out like how he was feeling, and he was trying to give that away to other people.
Right.
You know, and then he looked at me, and I was like...
I'll do it right now.
And I was like, I might want to do it. Give me a second to think about it. So I took like a half hour to think about it, and I was like, yo, you want to do it? And he was like... Hold on, I gotta wait. So I gave him until.
Oh my God, you're really getting 50-50.
I gave him until like right before the draft, and it was probably about like 15 minutes before the actual draft.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
I went in there. I was like, "So what do you want?" He
War
was
room.
like, all right, I'll do it. So we shook on it.
15 minutes.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
so
no,
psyched.
like
I got Gurley, the guy I wanted.
Up to like an hour before the draft, I had like Cook on the table. I was trying to get Derrick Henry.
I thought you were going to
I was trying.
Henry.
I thought I was too until I asked for his first round pick because I thought about it. I don't trust them knees. I don't. If he has another 400 touch season, I don't like what happens to him after.
I trust those knees for one more year.
Right.
I give Derrick Henry one more year. If you got Derrick Henry out there, if you have him and you're not going to the playoffs this year, trade him.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially in Dynasty League, that's the move.
Yeah,
but I have the 1.3 pick. I knew I wasn't going to be able to move up. I was willing to trade it away, and that's what I was going to get for Derrick Henry. But when you're looking at it, it's like, when am I going to have an opportunity like this again? You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot like the Seahawks trade for Jamal Adams. You know, when am I going to have an opportunity again to get a running back this good, except for waiver wire or trading an asset? Like, I've already traded, like, all I've traded is Melvin Gordon and picks. Like, I traded a running back who's definitely on the down slope. He's not headed towards his peak, except for maybe this year. This year might be his best year ever.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
And if it is, but... And then I knew I was going to get Dobbins at that pick. And Dobbins with Lamar Jackson, with that Ravens offense, which is still trending up, I felt like it was stupid not to.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Oh, continue. We're still going on draft days. Yeah. Come on. Let's go, Muck. Continue.
So.
We do the majors draft.
So the majors draft went well. We had to go on Zoom to pick the last
4 rounds, yeah.
The last 4 rounds.
Sleeper didn't have them in there.
Because Sleeper didn't have them
in there. It doesn't let us have 14 rounds, only 10.
Which was fine.
It was smooth.
It was smooth. It ended up working out very well.
Hollywood didn't bring the trophy.
Oh, that was a mess.
that was a mess.
The king is still sending.
So Hollywood was supposed to bring his trophy because he was the champion last year and he lost in the playoffs this year, but he wasn't coming to the draft, so he was supposed to drop it off to work to either me or X, and then he didn't. So
King's coming in expecting to get his
trophy, and we're like, we didn't communicate it properly. Like, I didn't tell him it wasn't here before he got here. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come and get my trophy. I'm gonna come get my trophy. And then we're like,
it's not.
It's here. Not here.
What do you mean it's not?
Yeah, and then he thought we were kidding, and he sat down and he relaxed. And he was like, what's up, man? Is trophy in the car or something?
No,
it's not here. It's not here, yeah.
It's not here, champ.
So hot. I should be getting my hands on the trophy tomorrow and hopefully delivering it to the champ sometime this week. I don't mind going to see the champ for a day. That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, but continue, Muckin, with draft recap.
So, Majors goes on without a hitch. Not too bad. Like I said, the Zoom thing worked out really well. No problem at all. However, Zoom did not work out well for the minors.
Well, that wasn't really the initial plan.
So the initial plan was
NFL.com,
which is the app which we used last year, which worked great.
Well, we always did outflying drafts before.
Yeah.
So this year, NFL added the option to trade draft picks and to customize the draft board. So we went to do that, and it got completely fucked.
So with the way the NFL draft works, you couldn't log on to the draft board. Even the commissioner could not log on to the draft board until a half hour before the
Right.
draft.
So you can't get it. So we couldn't see how fucked up it was until a half hour before everybody thought they were going to draft.
So we finally get onto the draft board, and it did
It's
not
just a mess.
update the draft picks.
It didn't update the draft picks. Like one of our keepers, like our second keeper, and as our first round pick, except for X. So it looked like he had like the first pick.
Yeah.
In your draft slot, it had you having like Daniel Jones as like your 8th pick. So you were like losing a draft pick.
I already had Daniel Jones on my roster.
Right, and I'm like, what? Like, it was just terrible. So we tried to do a Zoom meeting and do it through Zoom because we were all like really like we were drinking the knot and we were drinking beers.
So first off, everybody,
we were the only ones that said we shouldn't do this right now.
Alex and I were the smart ones who said, all right, this is a mess.
Let's postpone.
Let's postpone this. Let's see if we can figure this out. If not, we'll change it to SleeperBot,
right.
which worked much better, and that way we can just do this, no problems, nothing.
Side note, I didn't want to put everything on Sleeper yet because we had never used Sleeper before, and I didn't want to fully commit on both leagues just in case Sleeper was all fucked up and have everything all ruined on draft day.
So the plan was to just fix NFL.com, but then everybody was like,
no, we got to draft. We're drafting.
We are drafting.
Drafting.
And I think the reason why everybody wanted to do it is because we're implementing a new system next year where you keep your team. The only changes you would make is that you would drop players and pick up rookies later.
Yep.
So this team that you're drafting is going to be your team.
Yep.
So everybody was super excited to do this. And it just did not work.
It did not work. So then we went on Zoom. All right, so then we went on Zoom, and what happened? Nobody was
Nobody prepared.
Could look into the draft board. Everybody prepared on the app.
Nobody could go on the app and look at what
their queue and shit that, and nothing was being chosen off because we had suddenly changed it to an offline draft out of nowhere.
Nobody knew who everybody kept, and nobody knew who everybody was taking.
NFL drafted our teams.
Yeah.
Did you see your team?
Yeah, I did.
I love my team. I have J.K. Dobbins and Henry Ruggs on my team.
I hated my team.
I love my team. I'm like, can I keep this? Dobbins and Ruggs with those keepers I have. I already got 4 quarterbacks.
That's the thing. Yeah, your team was already awesome.
Stacked. Yeah, I got Dobbins, Fournette, Barkley, Ingram.
Oh, who did I? And
then I got Adams, Ruggs, Odell, Landry. That's stacked, man.
Oh, it changed it back to. No, the only change that happened was. So I kept all my keepers, and then I got Rob Gronkowski. I got Preston Williams. I got Keyshawn Vaughn.
Keyshawn Vaughn's not bad.
Not bad.
Wait, who was your first round pick though?
I don't know.
Cam Newton. No, Cam Newton in real life was your first round pick.
In real life was my first round pick. On here, I guess I don't know who it was. I guess it was Gronk. It was probably Gronk.
All right, that sounds terrible. Let's continue. Let's continue with draft recap.
It's awful.
All right, so that was a hot mess.
That was a mess.
So so nothing was updating. Nobody could get into anything. So we got through the first round. What happened, Muckin? You tell a story.
So we're getting through the first round, and then all of a sudden, 50-50 can't do anything.
He can't do anything.
He's not getting any kind of reception where he was. So he has no idea who's taken, who's. I think he ended up taking 2 tight ends in a row or something like that. It was a mess.
Yeah, it was bad.
He was getting hot.
Yeah, it wasn't a good situation.
So we ended up just deciding, all right, guys, this is stupid. This is dumb. We're done.
Nobody's having fun.
Yeah, nobody's having
fun. And that's that's the point of fantasy football. We don't play for money. We play for we play
for bragging rights and to have fun.
And the over the line league has a empty whiskey trophy. I got 2020 trophy over there.
Nice.
Yeah, we drank it draft day. And then we have just bragging rights. Majors, we got the Amato. Hollywood, you better get fucking champ the Amato.
Hollywood, where's the champ?
Where's the trophy?
I get a message every day.
Where's the trophy?
Hollywood.
So yeah, so that was all fucked up. So after the second round, I was like, all right, guys, we're shutting this down. We're gonna go and we're gonna switch it to sleeper. So the next day, I had to literally switch it all to sleeper. Oh, the thing went off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the thing still on.
They changed to a slideshow of pictures.
The animals. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, cool. Welcome to the lake house, guys.
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, this isn't the most professional setup.
Yeah, this is the best one. This is what we got. We got camcorder. I hope that thing's still on too. That thing got fucked up last week too.
You guys might be only able to see like
half of it.
Half of the video.
Just make sure you got audio on. Yeah, so that draft was fucking nuts. But I thought in all, on draft day 2, the Miners draft went very smooth.
It did. So the
on
next
sleeper,
day,
everybody, if you're tired of your fantasy football platform, try out sleeper.
Is awesome.
We haven't gotten to the season yet, but I really like the vibe. I think it's simple. I think they give you a lot of options. There's some hiccups, like we couldn't do the.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about SleeperBot is that when you first go on there, if you're using it for draft purposes and for your fantasy football purposes, it is confusing on how to
navigate it at first.
It is very confusing.
But once you figure it out, it is very accessible and very manageable.
And they have a lot of options.
I like the avatars you could do.
Yeah,
and
I gotta figure out how to get my own.
Well, you gotta get cookies, and to do that, you gotta go in I think people give you cookies for comments that you like on chat. So they it's cool. So they kind of use that as a social media platform, fantasy football platform, has a community there.
The social media aspect of SleeperBot is pretty cool.
I really like it is because we're sending gifts, we're talking trash on the chat already. I think they did a really good job with that app, and it made our dynasty draft work a lot smoother, and hopefully they continue to improve.
Yeah.
So we had our Miners fantasy football draft, and then a couple days later, you're just playing the waiver wire. A player that I actually, so we have the 2 quarterback league. Bench is pretty big. Well, we got a 9 spot bench. Bench is pretty big.
We have a huge roster.
Yeah, it's 22-man roster. We had IDP player this year, which is I'm excited for.
I'm loving. Yeah, and I really like my defensive player I got too.
So with that big roster, a player I really like is Lynn Bowden out of Vegas Raiders. He was John Grudem called him like a cord receiver back or something like that. He's like every position. So I like that for our flags, for our double quarterback.
So it's like Taysom Hill.
Basically. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's actually something that's going to be a new age, a positionless player. I think teams are starting to look for that. I think the Eagles are going to use Jalen Hurts like that. Taysom Hill we've seen used like that. I can see the Raiders using Mariota and Lynn Bowden like that because the Titans already use Mariota like that in that aspect. And I think,
catch his own pass.
Right, exactly. I think a position, I think teams are going to start looking for, a couple of those positionless players that they can, start tricking people with, so out the... start running more of an AFL style offense, college style, because that's what seems to be working in Kansas City.
Well, yeah, and they see it worked in New Orleans with Taysom Hill.
Right.
I mean, they bring him in, and it's almost always successful.
Yeah, except Drew Brees can't seem to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Okay, so we had that, and we went on Sleeper, and I noticed Scuba Steve dropped Cam Akers in the Miners for Justin Jackson, who I dropped for Lynn Bowden. Justin Jackson's Los Angeles Chargers number 3 running back right now. Don't get me wrong. I think Justin Jackson Dynasty Deep League, Austin Eckler isn't as promising. Josh Kelly has never really done much. I think he is a promising player, but I'm not going to drop Cam Akers for him.
Exactly. The guy who's probably going to end up with the starting job.
Right, at least halfway through. Right, exactly,
or
Muckin.
next year.
Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. But I think Daryl Henderson's hurt, and I think that they don't have time for that in Los Angeles right now.
No,
you know?
they need to win now.
They need to win now. They have a lot of studs. They have a lot of contracts coming up. They have a lot of old guys, and they just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they're trying to keep that culture going. Daryl Henderson's not the guy it seems right now. Malcolm Brown, I have him in the majors. I really like Malcolm Brown. He was the shining back on their team last year.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he be this year? Especially with them getting rid of Todd Gurley and he's still in the mix. And you got a rookie and a hurt guy. Do the math, people. Come on. That's all I got about that. Drop Cam Akers. And then.
So what do you
starts.
What do you think of realistic? I didn't put a price on him because I knew somebody was going to blow their load on it.
Right.
But what do you think a realistic price would have been for Cam Akers?
Like a realistic price for what he's worth right now compared to what he'll be worth in the future?
Rookie running back, I would say like 35, 40.
That's what I put on him.
So for those of you who are
I put 34.
confused,
Oh yeah, we do fab bidding in the minors. I think we should switch over to fab in the majors. I love fab.
This is the first time last year was in the minors was the first time I've ever used it.
Drama.
I love it.
Adds drama
It
because
does.
you all get to compete for a player.
Yeah.
So I put like 30. I ended up putting 32 on him. X put 33 on him.
Didn't Pop put 40 or something?
Pop put 61. Ankle Tom put $0 on him.
That's
He's just trying his best. He's just trying. He's just out there trying, man. You can't fault him. At least he tried to pick him up. Tall Tom put $85.
And just so
on
everybody
Cam
knows,
Akers.
and just so everybody knows, our limit is $100.
$100.
So he blew his load
85. Literally 85% of your budget.
And here's the problem I have, and here's the big problem I have with it. If you want to go all in for a player who you think is going to be worth it in the future, okay, I get that. But Tall Tom's got a good team this year.
Right.
He's
already
going to compete for the championship. Plus, you're going into a season with COVID.
Right.
You know players are either going to contract it or
Right,
get injured.
exact. Muckin, I didn't even think about that. That's an amazing point. Like, you're going to need that money this year more than ever.
Screwed.
Yeah, because
doesn't he only
he had $15 left now.
Doesn't he only have 2 quarterbacks?
Oh, I don't know about that. That would be very unfortunate.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, go ahead, Muck.
He might have 3.
Here's where my thought process was. My thought process was
he has 2 quarterbacks.
Wow.
He has Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, and his backups are Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love.
I'll trade you. Tell Tom I'll trade you Jordan Love for $5. I'll give you $5 real dollars, or I'll give you $5 fake dollars and $2 real dollars. $7 total. You think about that one. Let me know. Burn. I can send it over.
If the one thing I will say, if Rodgers goes down, he has the backup.
Right. Was that the strategy? That's good strategy there. Good job. Yeah, great job. Good thinking there. But no, I mean, Muck, your point was amazing. But you don't put all your eggs in the basket. One player doesn't win you a championship. Do you know the players that win you a championship? The waiver wire players.
Yes.
You don't know who's going to be good until the season starts. You need that money. That's why I'm like, all right, $32. That's a lot of money. That's 30% of your budget. You got 16 weeks of fantasy football. After that, you're stuck to like $2 a week.
Yeah.
So I can't.
He's not gonna. You're gonna pick up like
$4
shoestring players.
Yeah. Like he started out 0-11 last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts out hot this year and then just completely fucking collapses at the end.
Out, yeah.
Because you need that money for those players at the end of the year.
Exactly. And just because you start out the year with a great team doesn't mean you're going to end the year with a great team.
Right, because they could all get hurt. They could all get COVID. Or they could just suck.
They could just suck. I started previous years. This was like a long time ago. I started out the year fantastic. It was. Oh, I remember the year it was. It was Deshaun Watson's rookie year because I got him on the waiver wire.
That was a great pickup.
And my team was fantastic.
Yep.
And then Watson got hurt.
Yep.
And then a couple other players got hurt. And I didn't pick up the right players. And my team went to the tank.
Tanked.
And I didn't even make the playoffs. So I was in first place in that league.
That's a good lesson to learn, Muckin. So yeah, now don't put all your eggs in a basket in fantasy football.
That's why I didn't
I
even
understand
bother bidding for him.
Well, and I understand that point. I mean, I understand the point. I mean, I'm always gonna bid. I'm never gonna overpay for a player. That's my strategy in fantasy football.
I just knew unless
the only time I'm never gonna overpay unless if I feel like I'm not overpaying unless I feel like they are worth that. People might think they're asking for a lot, and I'm like, no, this player is worth that. Like, you will see.
But in your position, you shouldn't overpay because you just won the championship.
Well, I lost last year, but I was in the championship. Won 2 years ago. Pop-Up won last year.
Oh, that's right.
He beat me.
That's right.
Oh, the fucker. He has 2019 not. So, yeah. That's what we think.
Jesus Christ, Tall Tom.
Who do you think had the surprise pick in the minors this year?
The surprise pick?
The surprise pick, yeah.
Ooh, I got to go back to draft day.
Yeah.
Let me reflect on that for a second.
All right, go ahead. My surprise pick in the minors would probably be Pop trading me, Calvin Ridley, to take Justin Herbert at the 2.2 spot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was pretty crazy. Because Calvin Ridley, I really like Matt Ryan this year.
Yeah.
And Julio is only getting older. And Calvin Ridley's already proven himself. Like, I was hurting on receivers. Like, I didn't want to show it, but I only had Devontae Adams, Odell Beckham, and Jarvis Landry. I had 2 players from the same team. Those are my only 3 receivers going into it, and then he hands me Calvin Ridley, and then I draft Henry Ruggs, and then all of a sudden I'm fine at receiver.
Yeah.
I'm so fine. I even drafted Alan Lazard. I got 2 receivers on the same team. We'll talk
Lazard
about King. He's like my favorite player.
Talk about Lazard later, yeah.
So that was it in the minors. You still thinking? Do you want me to move on to the majors?
Yeah.
I can move on to the majors. My is probably what you're going to say is Pop-Up Champ taking Lazard so early.
Yes.
Like, I thought he was going to drop to – I thought he was going to be one of my last players taken, and Champ took him in, like, the 3rd fucking round.
He did, yeah.
And I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's my fuck – like, that is who – like, I had 2 guys. Like, I had Jakeem Grant, which I didn't mind saying because, like, nobody else cares about him, and nobody else still cares about him. But watch, Fitzpatrick just went down. Watch Tua and fucking Jakeem Grant. I'm telling you, this shit's about to happen. Lazard. That was my other guy.
Yeah.
That was my other sleeper. And I didn't tell a single soul. I just loved him. I was like, he's a number 2 receiver. Yeah, I watch every single Packers game.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him.
I like Lazard.
Like, when I see a good, like, I understand that I am very biased with Packers. Like, I picked Josh Allen over Aaron Rodgers in the majors this year because I feel like I'm biased to the Packers to a fault almost. Like, I'm like, do I like this player because they're so talented?
Yeah.
Or do I like him because he's a Packer?
Well, I'm an Eagles fan. I drafted Boston Scott in the majors.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad because he is a legitimate number 2 running back.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, with Lazard, it's just I really like his reliability. I really think that him and Aaron Rodgers are on the same page. I think they have a connection. And that's what you're looking for in a wide receiver is a connection with the quarterback.
And he's gonna get a lot of single coverage with Devontae Adams.
And they don't have fucking anybody else.
Exactly.
They got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
So Lazard is automatically just gonna jump up to that number 2 spot.
I was really surprised with how early people were drafting A.J. Dillon too.
Yeah, I was.
Like, I mean, I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be a touchdown vulture, but he's gonna be one of those players. I feel.
He's going to have to get a touchdown to give you points.
Right, and you don't know which week that's going to be.
Exactly.
It's going to be like a Patriots running back almost.
Yeah.
Where Aaron Jones, he's a 1A, man. They're not going to – what, are they not going to give him the rock in a contract year?
Yeah.
It's like, what you got, man? Where are you going to give us for the next 4 years if we sign you for this fucking – they're going to have to sign him for 90, close to 100 million.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're gonna run him into the ground.
Exactly. They're going to see what he has because he gets hurt just about every year.
Yeah.
All right, who you got for your surprise picks? He's got nothing.
Yeah.
We're moving on?
Moving on.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
You're
prepared for
fine.
that
That's fine. It's okay. I just edited it when I got home late tonight. I still have to eat the crabs that X gave me.
They were
Burn,
good.
burn,
I
burn.
had-
I know.
I had
I
one of
bet.
them. They
Yeah,
were
I'm
good.
going to eat a few of them. All right. So, Muckin, what was your strategy going into the draft?
Which one, majors or minors?
Both. Let me hear it all. Yeah.
Okay,
Let me hear. Tell America.
So majors, I went over this a little bit earlier. I wanted to get a running back. I
Right.
wanted to get another running back that I could rely on because I was happy with Mark Ingram and Sony Michel, but I wanted something else.
Because those are 2 and 3 running backs. Let's be
Exactly.
honest. I mean,
Yeah.
and Gurley is not necessarily a 1, but he can be a 1.
He can be a 1. I'm banking on him being a 1. And not that I think I'm going to win in the majors this year, but I want to make some impact.
Right, exactly. You gotta make splash first year. Go in there like the night, like Vegas, baby,
Exactly.
Vegas.
So my strategy was go in, get a running back. I did that with my first pick, so I was happy with that by trading my first pick and then getting for Gurley and then getting him. So then my strategy from there on was, okay, well, I already have good receivers. I had Tyler Lockett, I had Julian Edelman, which I don't know, he could be like good or bad this year.
Devontae
but
Parker.
I got Devontae Parker, which I was happy with. So my receivers were already pretty good. And I had Russell Wilson, which I definitely wanted. When I was picking my 6 players, I was really hoping I could get either Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, who I think are either 3 or 4 as far as quarterbacks go in the league. I wanted to have that set. So I got that, and then I wanted to build for the future. I really, really wanted to get Daniel Jones, and I got him.
Nice.
So I was so happy that I was able to get him.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
Russ said he's going to play another 15 years.
What was that?
Russell said he's going to play another 15 years.
He's not playing another 15
That's what he said.
Well, if Daniel Jones can control those fumbles, I think he's going to have a really good year this year.
I think you're a little focused on quarterbacks, man, to be completely honest.
I love my quarterback.
Yeah, but it's the majors, man. This
I
is the
know.
majors. This is the bright lights.
So minors is more quarterback
Right.
centric, but I still wanted a good backup for the majors.
Right.
I value quarterbacks. I know a lot of other people don't, but I like quarterbacks. I think you should have a good quarterback as a starter and a reliable backup. I got my reliable backup.
Yep.
Another player I really wanted and who I got, who I think was going to have a good year, is Darius Slayton from the Giants. Again, another, and to have that combo with Jones and Slayton could help. And I got Slayton, and I was really happy about that. So as far as my strategy was for the majors, since I got Gurley, I just wanted to go for balance.
Yep.
I wanted to go for balance. I wanted to get some good receivers here. I wanted to get some good running backs here. I was able to get Boston Scott, who was the backup for the Eagles. Like I said, I got Slayton. Who else did I get? Give me 1 second, I can let you know. I got Duke Johnson, who I was happy with because
David Johnson's back up.
David Johnson's backup. I mean,
Johnson.
With his injury history, you never know if he's going to go down. I got John Brown, 1,000-yard receiver last year. He might not do it again, but I mean, that's a good.
Diggs going to be
backup to have.
doubled.
I really like my tight end situation because I got Hunter Henry, and then for the backups, I got
I like that.
Gerald Everett and Will Disley.
Yep, I like that too.
I got Disley because
He's a stud when he's out there.
when he's healthy, he's going to give you probably 20 points a game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
really when Disley's healthy, he's a top 5 tight end. But his issue, he's like Tyler Eifert.
Yeah.
Like he's out there, he's balling. Like Jordan Reed, he's out there, he's balling. But
so-
some of those tight ends just can't hold up, man.
So my strategy with the tight ends was get some good ones and then maybe use them as trade bait.
We'll see about tight ends as trade bait. Tight ends are undervalued in the majors, and so are quarterbacks. Running backs are overvalued. Receivers, I said it to Bukowski, the guy that we helped win the championship the other day. Receivers are what win you championships, man.
Yeah.
Receivers, I mean, yes, you have like the big games, but when you have really good receivers that get you that consistent 15 floor to, 30, 35, 40-point ceiling a game, like when you're starting out with 40 points a game, how many points do you need to win? Like the majors, we need like 180 points to win, but
Exactly.
you're talking about 30%. You're talking about what? A quarter of it, at least. No, not about a fifth of it from one player.
Yeah.
When you have a 10-man roster. So when you have a couple of those, the points just add up. Like running backs, yes, they're great to have. Running backs are a fantastic trade bait. And running backs can,
because they can beat you both ways.
Well, they get you the most. They get the most touches. They're typically guaranteed points when you get a running back one.
Yeah.
All right, this guy's going to get 20 touches. If he gets 5 yards of carry, a couple catches, he's going to get you 20 points, and then that's 20% of your score that you need to get to. But my strategy going into the majors was, at first, when I had Melvin Gordon, I traded him straight up to Pop for the 1.8 pick when I was drafting 1.10. So then I had 2 first-round picks. So then I had 2 running backs, and I was keeping 3 receivers. And I still knew, like you knew, going into that 1.6 pick, that I was not going to get a stud running back. Yeah. I was like, essentially, initially, I told Pop I was going to go for Kerryon Johnson because I do believe in Kerryon this year. I think he's a cheap value. I think that he's going to get touches. He's going to be a first and second down back at least, and he is a good football player. He was hurt last year. The Lions did not have a good backup running back, and that's why they went out and got a really good backup running back, DeAndre Swift, which they're going to see more than a backup. I'm assuming, obviously, what happens when you assume, that Kerryon Johnson is going to have the first and second down role, and DeAndre Swift is going to be more of like a Joique Bell or Reggie Bush or some kind of that role there. Third down back, passing back, gets the outside stretch runs.
Vulture a couple touchdowns.
Right, I think they're both going to be good this year. I think they're going to focus more on the run. I mean, they have 3 good receivers, but that's really it. And who knows what's going on with Stafford week to week.
Yeah.
But then, really thinking about it, I thought about receivers winning me championships. Having a 1.8 and a 1.10 could get a Henry Ruggs. Might be able to get a Jerry Jeudy. Probably won't get CeeDee Lamb, but I could get, a Rager. And I was going in and I was like, I'll get freaking Jeudy and Ruggs right now. I'll get Ruggs and McLaurin right now. 1.8 and 1.10. Are you kidding me? Locked in. I got 5 stud receivers, and I'll just get a couple chump running backs, whatever. But then B-Man offered me that trade. I'm not going to get into it. It ended up being, I said it earlier, a 1.3 B-Mans and a 2.5, which he got from Pop, which he wanted those 2 first-round picks because he wanted receivers for that 1.8 and that 1.10. So, knowing I was at that 3 pick, draft strategy changes. You got to change your draft strategy. You got to think on your toes. You got to realize this is where I am now. This isn't, or you got to understand this is how these people are drafting that I'm drafting with. So knowing the first 2 backs off the board, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor, I had to make my decision. J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, or DeAndre Swift. Who's my favorite? Just told you what I thought about DeAndre Swift. Told you what I thought about Cam Akers earlier. J.K. Dobbins, I think halfway through the season, he could start to pick it up. I think if J.K. Dobbins was a stud at Ohio State, and I'm telling you, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but I love Ohio State players.
Yeah.
I love Ezekiel Elliott. I love Michael Thomas. Those are, the Bosa twins. Bosa brothers. Malcolm Jenkins. They're Ohio State players. They come into the NFL.
Produce NFL
pro
players.
Ready.
Yes.
It's just on almost the same level as Bama to a point. So, J.K. Dobbins being in there with Mark Ingram, who I think really helped Kamara.
Which is another reason why I wanted to get another running back, because I feel like Mark Ingram could take a down.
Right.
Exactly
to J.K. Dobbins. Right. And I think he will at some point. But I also look at the way he did it with Kamara in New Orleans. They were both top 5 running backs for a few weeks of season,
yes.
for a few weeks of Kamara's rookie season. J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram might be able to do that. He's done it before. Why can't he do it again? It's been a couple years, but it's only been a couple years, and he hasn't showed any signs of slowing down.
Yeah, Mark Ingram was fantastic last year.
He didn't start getting, even to this point, he's always been in the RBBC. Like, he's never really gotten more than 250 carries a season.
Yeah.
Like, he's stayed protected, and he's always run hard, and he's a professional. He didn't start going until his 5th year in the league.
And he's a between the tackle guy, so he's going to get the touchdowns.
Right. So Dobbins spreads him out a little bit more, catching him, and having Lamar in the backfield too. It's just
it might actually in the beginning of the season it might be more beneficial for Ingram.
Oh, I think Ingram is going to start out hot, and like I said, like starting 4, 5, 6, Dobbins is going to start getting more in the mix. Dobbins is going to start out slow, but I think he's going to be the man ultimately.
Kind of how Miles Sanders happened.
How a lot of the best ones do it. That's how Todd Gurley started too. Like he didn't start going until week 4, and then he had like a 30-point game. So then I went and got Dobbins. Then I had 2 picks in the second round because I got the second round pick instead of the first. So then I went with Kerryon Johnson. I actually did get the guy I wanted, and then I went N'Keal Harry, second-year receiver, New England.
Very
hurt last year.
Disappointing rookie
season with Tom Brady, but working out with Cam in the offseason. Bill Belichick offense. They didn't address the receiver position
at all.
They lost receivers, really. They lost Phillip Dorsett. I think they're going to be running a 21 offense, like a 2 running back, 1 tight end set, 2 receivers on the field. And then with Cam,
they just drafted a tight end too.
They're going to be running that New England option offense is going to be something serious this year. I'm really liking Cam Newton. I got him in the majors.
I'll go into that a little more in the minors.
What was your strategy going into the minors?
So my strategy in the minors changed when you offered me that trade. So in the minors, I had 3 quarterbacks.
Oh, right, you did.
In the minors, I had 3 quarterbacks. I had Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, and Ben Roethlisberger, who I was going to keep all 3.
Yep.
But then Alex gives me a trade. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you Big Ben, I'll want Big Ben from you. I'll give you Raheem Mostert and T.Y. Hilton."
Yep.
So I thought about it for a little while, and I was like, you know what? I could use T.Y. Hilton. He's like he's a number 2 receiver, but I needed like a receiver who could like. I feel like T.Y. Hilton can still take over a game, and
especially with Phillip Rivers' big arm,
and that is what makes me excited about T.Y. Hilton this year. And I feel like I needed that receiver that could take over a game in the minors. So I needed that receiver, and then I desperately more than a receiver. I desperately needed running backs in the minors. So with Raheem Mostert, he's a starting running back, but not really with San Francisco. But it's a starting option. I mean, you guys have to realize I was either starting last year. I was starting either James White or LaShawn McCoy with my second running back starting option. So I needed somebody else.
Saw the need.
So I was, and of the 3 quarterbacks I had, Big Ben was like my number 3. Like I didn't really care too much about him. Like. He could have a really good year this year.
Yeah, I think he could be. And he said he's looking for Lombardis. He wants to play it for a few years.
A lot of people are actually predicting Big Ben to have a big year. But I was willing to give him up because Kirk Cousins also had a huge year last year. I'm not willing to give him up. And I definitely don't want to give up Daniel Jones, who's a young player, promising. And he's kind of like with the minors, with a 2-quarterback league, I really wanted to keep him. So I wasn't giving him up. So I was like, all right, I'll give up Big Ben. Well, now the draft comes. Now I need a quarterback. So I was not going to get Joe Burrows. I knew that because 50-50 had the number 1 pick.
He's a Bengals fan.
He's a Bengals fan.
He says he's an Eagles fan. He's a Bengals fan.
I had the 4th pick, but I knew I wasn't going to get him. So it was either I could reach for Tua or I could take what was available.
You think Tua is a reach?
At 4?
I love Tua.
I think 4 is
Tua. Do you remember what he was doing in Bama?
I do.
He was doing things that you had never even seen quarterbacks ever do before.
But at
Bama, the last good quarterback Bama had was Joe Namath.
I know.
It's he was doing something in the system where they don't do that.
But I also needed a quarterback that could start. That starts.
Yeah, Tua might be the starter.
Well, now Tua
Jakeem Grant, I'm telling you it's happening. But
I didn't foresee Ryan Fitzpatrick getting injured. So
I kind of see that.
Yeah.
He doesn't play a full year.
So I took what was available for me, which was Cam Newton.
I think that's a great pickup.
I mean, that is by far not a reach.
Dude, he has at least 6 years left in his career.
Exactly.
As long as he has a good year this year, which I think he does. He's going into New England as a professional. I love Cam Newton, man. I've always had such a respect for that guy. I really feel even that, monster season that he had where he had over 30 passing touchdowns and 16 rushing touchdowns. and he won MVP. Who was he throwing to?
Nobody.
Like, he's throwing to Philly Brown and, like, fucking... I mean, I don't even remember any of the other receivers.
Wasn't that Calvin Benjamin's rookie year or something?
Yeah, but he was hurt all the time, remember?
Yeah.
Calvin Benjamin wasn't even playing. He was throwing Greg Olsen. That's who he was throwing to. He didn't have any running backs. They had, like, a 3 running back set, too. Like, I can't even, like, remember the players. Like, I'm really trying to think. Like, Steve Smith wasn't even there.
No, Steve Smith
and he
was
threw
not
over
there.
30 touchdowns. It's like... And now you guys, like, his shoulder was gone.
Yeah.
It was done. Like, he didn't have a shoulder anymore. Like, imagine trying to throw a football without a shoulder. Guess what? Can't. Need the
Not
shoulder.
possible.
The shoulder is what throws it.
Yeah.
Like, the arm is attached to the shoulder, and that's what throws it.
Oh, yeah, I know. My shoulder's killing me.
Yeah,
Shit
I'm
right now.
telling you, man. That's why we don't slap bets anymore.
It's feeling better. Actually, it's my left
watch out.
shoulder that was
Watch
killing.
out for that.
Feeling better now.
Jeff for that right hand slap. No, but I love Cam. I think Cam's great. I thought that was a great pickup. I was kind of hoping he followed to me, and then I saw Tua like drop in. I just told you I love Tua.
Yeah.
I was like, if I can get Tua, I will rock 5 quarterbacks right now because the realistic reason. Like, and I was offering
And
a lot of trades.
Don't get me wrong. I love Tua also.
Right,
Like, if
you
he
just
was-
didn't want to draft him 4th overall.
I didn't want to draft him 4th overall with Cam Newton.
Maybe you should draft. Yeah, I guess Cam Newton has a bunch of years left on him, as
And-
long as he has a good year this year.
Exactly. So that was my major strategy was just get
Right.
the quarterback, and then I didn't have a 2nd-round pick.
Right.
Because I
You traded with
that-
Christian Kirk, which was a good trade.
last year, which I was still happy about. Took a little bit of a backseat this year because they traded for
DeAndre Hopkins.
but
I'm telling you, man, they don't run any tight ends. They're gonna run a 20 offense this year.
yeah. So I'm still high on Christian Kirk. I'm
Yeah,
still
like they're
happy
gonna
I
have
him.
they're gonna have 3,000-yard receivers this year.
They might.
I mean, I don't know if Larry's gonna get 1,000, but Kirk and DeAndre are getting 1,000.
Yeah, I think this is the year Larry finally takes a backseat.
Yeah, I mean, but that's fine because you have like imagine how good Christian Kirk's gonna be next year with Larry Fitzgerald not there.
You know,
You have 2 Hall of Fame receivers in front of you teaching you how to play a game of football, and you're
Exactly.
already a stud.
You know what I think Larry could do though. He could be a touchdown vulture this year.
He could be very much so, and I got Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That was my trade last year. I got Kyler Murray and
Kyler Murray this year. Kyler Murray might win an MVP this year.
I got Kyler Murray and Saquon Barkley for Lamar Jackson, and I'm never looking back.
That's a good
like
trade.
that
That's a
is
good trade.
that is a fantastic trade
That's a good
any
pickup
day of the
on your
week.
part. Yeah, that's a good pickup on your part. So the rest of my strategy, as far as the minors were concerned, was to just get young.
Right.
To draft some rookies
Because
and-
it is a dynasty league now.
because it is a dynasty and
But you can't get too hyper focused on going young because those old players are going to get you points. They're still old. They're going to get the ball.
yeah. Oh, I have the old players. I'm
Like
not
I mean,
worried
if
about
you're
that.
real, like if you drafted already, or if you're doing, I mean, it's still draft season, so I'm sure a lot. I mean, we have like 40 listeners, so I'm sure maybe some of these listeners are still drafting. But like Frank Gore, we're hearing fantastic news about Frank Gore.
Yeah.
You got like 3 running backs, and you didn't draft your first one till you're sitting with like Todd Gurley, James White, and like fucking Keyshawn Vaughn. Go draft Frank Gore in the last round.
Yeah.
What's it gonna hurt? You gotta throw somebody in there. You might get 15, 20 points. He usually finishes as RB10
Exactly.
because he gets like 15 points a game.
Yeah, another hard rusher. He's probably going to get those touchdowns.
Better than being 0.
Exactly. So my focus was to just go younger. So I drafted a lot of rookies.
Right.
So I drafted AJ Dillon. I drafted Brian Edwards from Las Vegas. I got Chase Claypool out of Pittsburgh. Not like number 1 rookies, but rookies in their own right. Just
Right.
hoping some of them are going to pan out. Because this is a very deep league.
Right.
And
It is.
I can
22 roster spots with 12 teams.
I can afford to take those players knowing that I already have starters going for
Right.
me. So I'm taking a chance doing that, hoping some of them pan out. I picked up Alex Smith because why not?
Yeah. Hey, Dwayne Haskins really sucks. Ron Rivera wants to throw him in there. Why not?
Yeah. I got Jordan Howard because I think he might do something in the beginning
You
of the season.
love Jordan Howard.
I think he'll do something in the beginning of the season, not so much later. So Jordan Howard's kind of like, all right, I'll pick him up, keep him for 4 weeks, then probably get rid of him. But yeah, I mean that's who I got. I'm excited for my team in the minors. I think I just missed out on making the playoffs last year. I think this year with Daniel Jones going into his 2nd year, that I like the team I have this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like both your teams, honestly, Muckin.
And then if I make the right waiver wire pickups, I think this year I have a good shot in the minors to make a playoff run.
Hey, we'll see.
Not win the whole thing, but make a run.
Hey, it's good. It's good to manage expectations. I'm going for win the whole thing in both the majors and the minors.
Your team is set for that.
My minor strategy was, so I started out with, sorry, Lambo. I started out with the trade to you because I looked at my keepers and it looked like I was going to drop either Raheem Mostert, Ronald Jones, or T.Y. Hilton. I had 13 keepers on a 12-keeper league. So I was like, I need to trade 2 for 1. So we ultimately traded Raheem Mostert and T.Y. Hilton for Big Ben and LaShawn McCoy.
Who you were just going to drop.
Yeah, who I just dropped anyway. I really asked him for Eli Manning. Like, I was just going to drop him anyway. So with that strategy, I was like, all right, I lose ultimately a receiver or a running back. I didn't know who I really wanted to keep between the two anyway. And I gained a quarterback, which is ultimately the most valuable position in that league because it's a 2-quarterback league.
Yeah.
And it's Big Ben. You know, he's an older quarterback. He didn't play for Muckin last year. I knew he didn't have a lot of attachment to him. So I was like, I'll take him as my 4th quarterback. So now I'm sitting with Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Dwayne Haskins, Big Ben.
You're set for quarterback.
I am set for quarterback. So I'm going into this draft set at quarterback. So 1.11 pick, I take Henry Ruggs. Bam, off the board. I only had Devontae Adams, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry.
You needed a receiver.
Need a receiver. Second round, that pop-up trade. I said, I'll trade you this second-round pick for Calvin Ridley right now. And he's like, hold on, let me see. Let me see who Boom Guy takes. Then Boom Guy went Judy and Rager. And then Papa was like, all right, I'll trade you. And he went Herbert, which I'm like, whatever. I like Herbert in Hard Knocks, but I don't think he's going to really do much. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do much. I really don't like him that much. So then I got Calvin Ridley, and then I had another pick in the second round. Who did I go there? I don't even remember. But then I just went for balance after that. I just went, I wanted the best player available. After that, I went Sony Michel in the second round, which is okay. He's on the POP. I didn't really like it that much, so I kind of...
Yeah, but that far in the draft... I mean,
right, it's like the 14th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sony Michel, he's a starting running back. I was like, now I have a lot of running backs. So I liked my draft there. I like my depth position. There's a lot going on out there, man. I just want to start. I just want the season to start. I want to see how my team's doing. I want to wake up on Monday mornings and see where I stand. Am I winning? Am I losing? How many players do I have going tonight? How many players do they have going tonight?
I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And now that I'm in the majors, I'm so... I can't wait. I'm so happy that you had me play.
You requested it, champ. Week 1. Let's see how you hang, Muck.
The separate leagues. It's not the majors and minors league, but Champ has another fantasy football league that I'm a part of. That we've been doing for the past 2 years. He has never beat me.
Oh, really?
Never.
Wow, Champ. Have we found your kryptonite?
This is why I requested.
Oh my god! If Champ starts off 0-1, I would be flabbergasted. Holy cow!
Cannot wait.
Are there any players you feel like you missed out on?
Yes, both leagues. I really wanted Bryce Love, actually.
Yeah, I like Bryce. I only like the one comment. I'm hearing Gibson's getting a lot of action. Pop-Up offered me Bryce Love for Chase Edmonds. I kind of started screwing with him and threw some picks in there. He didn't want to take it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't.
You don't know, but I don't know. I just have a feeling.
I don't trust that Redskins back. The only players I really want from the Redskins is like Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
That's all I want. And I love Dwayne Haskins in our 2-quarterback league, like dynasty league. Like, that's great quarterback to have.
He was one of my keepers in the minors.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to get him in the majors.
He's drafted in the first round. Champ drafted him in the first round. That's a good sign.
Yeah. I was surprised it was that long. Because Champ had the last pick. I'm surprised McLaurin waited. You asking me what was my surprise pick? It was that McLaurin didn't go sooner.
in the first round.
Yeah.
That like Rager and like Judy and stuff went in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they look at rookies, man. It's dynasty.
I know.
But
he's
McLaurin's only
a
1 year. I know.
Second-year player.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Telling you, there's Ohio State players. Watch out for them.
The only problem I have with him is Haskins. I mean,
Haskins, Ohio State, man. We'll see if he comes through with Ron Rivera. He was rocking Gruden last year, man. Gruden has ruined like every single quarterback there.
Yeah, he has.
Even the good Alex Smith, he broke his leg in half. He almost died. Robert Griffin, rookie of the year.
Then
Done.
broke his leg.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah, I know. All these players, I'm telling you. Dwayne Haskins might make it. What rookie are you most excited for?
I want to say him, but I don't want to say him because I don't want to sound like a homer.
Jalen Rager.
I mean, let's be honest.
But you're an Eagles fan. Like, why would you not be most excited for him?
And also, why would you be excited from a football aspect? Because you know the Eagles don't have.
He's a shining light. He's a shining ray of sunshine in a dark cloud of receivers.
And
you're rocking like Greg Ward and like
Alshon's going to start the year.
Dude, fuck Alshon. Like honestly, like fuck. Ever since Alshon, this is to you. I hope you're never gonna listen or hear this, but fuck you because I lost to the champ because of you, you fucking asshole. You 0 points, 0. I needed 12. You can't give me 5 catches and 70 yards to beat the champ, and then that's when the legacy begins. Fuck you, Alshon, and Kyle Rudolph. You can fuck yourself too. Yeah, that's how I really feel.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm really excited for Henry Ruggs. I think he's another shining light in like a dark receiver. But like the thing is, I feel like he is gonna make the other receivers better because they have Darren Waller, who was awesome last year.
Yeah.
They have Tyler Williams, which wasn't bad, but they just didn't have that stud. Like if they have that stud, Derek Carr is gonna be able to spread the ball around like he did when they had Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree and Jared Cook, and they had a really good offense and were making the playoffs.
So you want to talk about another player who I was disappointed I didn't get. This is like deep in the draft, but Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, you really like him that much? I mean, that's another receiver there. I mean, but like the only
I think he's going to.
Well, he's another slot receiver too, though. Ruggs is the slot now.
Yeah,
so we gotta see.
I don't know. I think at the end of the year he kind of showed something.
No, and I agree with you. I mean, he did a lot of work. Lambo's itchy. He wants belly rubs.
Lambo always wants belly rubs.
Beer review?
I'm ready.
Go ahead. Let me know. I already told everybody what I think about it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah.
What's
our rating system?
I forget.
Again? It's
like meh is the worst. Young, fast, and strong is the best.
What's the one right before Young, Fast? What was
Believer?
Believer. I'm a believer.
You're a believer?
I'm a strong believer.
Yeah, all right, that's good. Nah,
and the only reason I say that, the only reason it's not a Young, Fast, and Strong is because it's great, and I love hazy IPAs, but it tastes like pretty much every other hazy.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just like better than all the other hazy IPAs.
Yeah, to me, it's just like all the others. It's really good.
Really good can art. Double IPA.
I almost gave it a Young, Fast, and Strong just for the can.
Young, Fast, and Strong, man. That's my go.
I know, and I know it's what you like. Also, you gotta keep in mind that I am not a huge
IPA guy.
I like IPAs, and I love hazy IPAs, but they're probably my least favorite.
Right.
brew.
I agree. I know. Hey, if we had more company, I was gonna get. Maybe I'll save it for next time. Should I say, or maybe I'll get it and I'll just say it. I was gonna get the baked pumpkin ale from Lancaster.
Ooh.
Yeah, Lancaster Brewing. So I think that's what we're gonna do next time. I'm gonna have to hold us to that.
I can't wait until colder.
We're gonna start doing it. It's coming, man. 70s are coming like this week coming up.
Delve into stouts, which are my second favorite brew.
You got anything else, Muck?
I
think we did a good job.
I'm happy with both my drafts. You tell me that you like both my drafts.
I do,
which makes me happy about them.
Yeah, no, they were good drafts. I'm telling you, like, you see what we deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless him.
But no, I'm happy with that. Happy with the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope. I really hope they go a full season, but I just don't think they're going to.
I think
The only good.
Honestly, I think COVID is not the worry right now.
Yeah.
Baseball's still going. Like they're still going through COVID.
And that is true. Baseball
There's so much money in it.
Baseball has not been affected the way I thought it was going to, and hockey has done amazing at it.
Right.
They haven't had a positive.
All the bubbles have been great.
The bubbles have been fantastic.
But what we have to watch out for now.
Miami said they're going to allow people in the stadiums. For
Right.
The
So
game.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem because that's how outbreaks start to go. But hopefully they don't last. But we have to watch out for racial injustice sit-outs, man.
Yeah.
Like, if we really want to talk about sports, if we really want to talk about fantasy football, that is what, honestly, I am more worried about ending the season than COVID. Is racial injustice sit-outs.
Yeah.
Because
that's the legitimate
people
worry
need
right
to
now.
get their fucking act together.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just it. But
are you happy with your draft?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always happy with my draft. I do a lot of prep work. Something I did like about Sleeper app and something that I will always tell people before a draft, you need to do prep work.
Yeah.
You need to do multiple mock drafts. You need to have a draft queue, a list of players that you like, because if you go off who the system likes,
never go off.
You're you're just going off other people's opinions, and it's like that doesn't work for me. I mean,
have to have your own strategy.
Right? It's like, oh, you think, all right, like they think Mike Evans is the best fifth receiver, or they think Chris Godwin's gonna finish better than Mike Evans this year. Like I might not think that, you know.
Yeah.
They might think Kittle's going to have a better year than Kelsey. I might not think that, but I do think Kittle's going to have a better year than Kelsey. I mean, Kittle's like the only guy there right now.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, things like that, like, you know, I am real, like, like, fantasy football has brought it to a new level, but I have always been a football fan, grew up in a football family. I understand football. I know the sport. I understand, you know, strategy and momentum and game plan schemes. And that's what makes fantasy so fun for me. But, yeah, do your own pre-work. Set up your own queue. Use Sleeper app because that shit rocks. Follow the OTL podcast.
Write down your picks in case you can't.
Yeah, in case you can't draft and you gotta go manual on the fly. Follow the OTL podcast on Instagram first. Second, you got to follow the OTL PC on Twitter. And then you got to search for the OTL podcast on YouTube. And like and subscribe this bitch because we're going global and you want to hop on the bandwagon. This is the OTL podcast.
Yeah, little kids are telling us we need to get paid for this.
Yeah, we need to get fucking paid. Subscribe. We're on Spotify now. Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, anything you fucking watch or listen to, we're there. We are accessible. Sign us out, Muckin.
Good night, everybody.
Over the line.
Thank you.